So the slider that you see here on the front page that's animating through these both H1 tags or text right there, as well as background images, that's known as the layer slider. So what the layer slider is a professional animated slider that is both responsive, so it adapts to whatever device that it's being shown on, as well as allows you to animate and transition in whether it be text or other images. It's extremely flexible in regards to that. Now, we could show you how to modify this particular layer slider or slideshow that you but actually, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take you through the process of, from scratch, creating a new slider and actually embedding it in a page and showing you all the different animations and stuff that way, so that actually you'll get a lot more familiarity with the layer slider, and then you'll already, once we're done there, you'll already know how to go in and modify this. This will be very easy for you. So let's go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new page. So I'm going to come up here to New. I'm going to get a drop-down menu and click on Page, and it's going to take me into the page editor, and I'm just going to name this Test Page and then publish it. Open it up over here so I have it in a new tab, simplify things. And I'm going to leave this, instead of in the visual mode, I'm going to leave this in the text mode because I'm going to be putting in what's known as a shortcode here. So I'm going to come back over to the dashboard and down and click on Layer Slider, and that's going to bring me into the what this is basically an index of everything going on in LayerSlider. And right up here, it's going to give you a list of the layer sliders that you have in your site. We have one on the home page, and we could go into this one and click right there, and that will once again do the same thing as if we were to come in here and click Edit. It's going to go to the same place, and it's going to take us into the interface that's going to allow us to alter the content of the slider. But what we actually want to do is we want to add a new slider. So I'm going to come over here and click on Add New. And then I'm going to come over here and give our slider a name, and I'm just going to call this Example Slider. Now, I'm going to import 4 images in here, and these images are 600 pixels wide by 400 pixels high. So I need to ensure that when that my width and height match the size of the images, and the images need to all be the same size. Okay. Now this is a responsive slider, but I know that you're probably expecting percentages in here because of it being responsive. But actually, this is going to basically give us the max width of the slider is what it's going to do, and then the layer slider is going to calculate through media queries what this is supposed to be at lower screen sizes so that it maintains the correct resolution. So you don't have to worry about percentages here, and we highly discourage people from putting percentages in here, even though the system will actually accept them. So let's go ahead and go down over here. We have down here we have the selection to automatically start the slideshow, which is on. We have a pause on hover, which means that if somebody is hovering over the slideshow, it's going to go ahead and pause that slideshow. Which slide is going to be the first slide? We're just going to go ahead and put in 1 there and leave that standard. It's going to say animate the first slide. If enabled, the layers of the first slide will animate slide in instead of fading in with the slide. The first slide that comes in fades in, and what this does is this allows you to animate the rest of the slides that are on that first slide. But some people don't want to do that. Some people want all those slides to just fade in and then come out. And if you want the first slide to do that, you can go ahead and set that to off, and that's what that'll do. This will just go ahead and loop. When you have this to 0, it'll just loop around endlessly. If you change this number right here, what it's going to do is it's just going to loop however many times, 1 through 10 you told it to loop, and then it will stop. If you embed a video in, you can choose whether to automatically play the video or not. If you don't want the video to automatically play, just slide that to off and it won't play. In here we have automatically pause slideshow. This is auto, and if you enable the automatic play videos option, the auto value means that the slideshow will pause until the video is finished playing, and after that it will continue. The enabled value means that the slideshow will stop and will not resume after the video has been played. So that's what that thing means. That's what what that setting right there means. And these settings are pretty self-explanatory as you go through them. They allow you to set the navigation. They allow you to change the appearance, and there are several different skins that you can choose. You can select a background image for the slider itself, so that that's what people will see between slides. You can apply your own custom CSS to the slider if you know how to write CSS and specify a specific CSS file. Over here, you'll have image preload, which you'll always want to leave on. Very good idea. And then use relative URLs for images. If you're moving the layer slider to another website, that would be relevant, but it's not going to be relevant here. Put JS includes to body. This should not be necessary on the site. If for some reason the layer slider will not work, then you may want to come in and check that to on just to see if that will have any effect on that. But this shouldn't be necessary in your particular system. And right here, you're actually able to go ahead and place a logo that will actually hover as a layer over the slider, and it will you can go ahead and through CSS rules right here, very simplistic CSS rules, you can go ahead and specify if you want that it's going to be all the way to the left, and if you want it to be 10 pixels from the left and 10 pixels from the top, and then it will float whatever size that image is right up in the left as a constant logo there in that slider. So it's as you can see, it is a very It is a very flexible system. So in the next video, what we're going to do is, now that we've actually created our example slider here and we've got everything set, we're going to go ahead and click Save Changes. And then in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to go over this interface right here, which allows us to now actually create the animated slideshow.